Welcome to Bloodline and Headlines, where we go beyond the shock and into the story. So, today we are discussing a case that occurred in Dallas, the Dallas Motel tragedy that left a family broken and a community stunned. It's a case that started with a simple workplace disagreement and ended in something no one could have imagined. The victim in this case was 50-year-old Chandra Nagamallaiah, manager of the Downtown Suites Motel. He moved from Bangalore, India to the US in 2020, chasing the American dream of owning his own hotel. Coworkers described him as a hardworking, dedicated, and passionate individual who was all about hospitality. He worked long hours and cared deeply for his family. On the day of the incident, his wife and son were actually there at the motel with him. They tried to help, but they couldn't stop what was about to unfold.
The attacker, the man accused, is 37-year-old Yordanis Cobos-Martinez, a Cuban national who also worked at the motel. He has been charged with capital murder and is being held without bond in Dallas County Jail. His record shows arrests for auto theft, assault, and more, but his family says that the deeper story is his battle with untreated mental illness. According to his mother, he struggled after serving time in California, even living homeless in a park for years. She says he felt exploited at the motel and called himself a slave.
Hmm. Well, here's what the police say happened. After an argument about using a broken washing machine, things spiraled. Cobos Martinez left. He came back with a weapon and attacked Chandra right there at the motel. Apparently, Chandra probably told him not to use that washing machine because it was broken, and he did not appreciate this. His wife, Chandra's wife and son, tried to intervene, but he pushed them away. Witnesses described the scene of chaos and fear, with one man saying he told Chandra's wife to get back because he thought she might be attacked too. But what happened after that?
Police arrived and arrested Martinez, who admitted to what he had done. The crime in itself has drawn national attention not only because of its brutality, but because of the layers behind it: immigration, mental health, and workplace exploitation. At the same time, Sandra's family is left grieving. A GoFundMe has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to help them through the unimaginable loss. Um, this particular situation is like a collision of broken systems, mental health, justice, labor exploitation. I mean, immigration is even involved, and in the middle of all of this, a man who came here for a better life taken away. In all honesty, both men came here for a better life, and one took it away, and one his is going to be taken away. Um, eh, did you see the video?
I did see the video, but let's roll back. So Chandra owned the motel?
I did a deep dive, and he said it was his motel, but you do know sometimes it's a business, and in reality, it could be his own motel.
Just like a
Um,
franchise type thing, like it's
it's not a
all
franchise. More than likely, it's a business.
maybe he's like the manager.
He's the manager. I was doing a deep dive in it, but it get to a point where it came to a standstill.
Okay, but he was the superior
He was
of
the one in charge of the
Cabos.
motel. Yeah, he was
Okay.
definitely the one in charge of the motel.
And is do you think there's more to it than him telling him not to use the washing machine? Because do you think that things have happened before that led up to this point?
But again, when you watch the video, unfortunately, I seen the unedited, undoctored, raw video, which is more traumatic and uh, let's not even get into that. But the brutality that was seen in this particular video, my honest opinion is like there had to have been a level of frustration that took place. granted the actions that he Martinez did, there's nothing Chandra could have done to deserve that. But still, the level of brutality, anger, frustration that was displayed here, there had to have been some past arguments, or in reality, it could just be a different level of mental health. But the video speaks for itself. There's a certain level of brutality involved with it that if something was not going on prior that led to this.
Well, I watched the unedited and raw video too, and I kind of want to get into it. I kind of want to paint the picture of what happened so viewers can understand like what happened. So basically, where the video started, it was like Cabos was running down Chandra
Correct.
with the cutlass and he was chopping at him, chopping at him.
Well,
They
we got
they
to help some people. Some people might not know it as a cutlass, but there's different words for it. It's a
machete,
machete,
yeah.
or some people call it a las. So a las, cutlass, machete. I guess the best way to imagine it is it's a really big knife, which was used back in the day to cut sugarcane. You
Or
know what I mean?
grass,
Yeah,
or like farmers use it on their lands,
yeah. So the
you
Mexicans,
know.
Caribbean people, they would call it machete or
Right.
machete. But yeah, that was the weapon used in this particular incident.
So yeah, basically he ran him down, kept chopping away at him, chopping, chopping, like.
We still want to keep this YouTube friendly.
So yes, so Chandra fell to the floor, and you can see at that point, after he kept chopping at him, that you didn't see he wasn't putting up a fight anymore. So you could have told that his body was motionless.
His body went limp, and one of the key
Yeah,
elements you missed to mention was that his family was there from the entire get-go.
yeah,
Like
from
from
the
the moment he hit the ground,
beginning.
his wife, and then it looked like another a kid was running, running, and running, but the wife was
And
screaming.
let's not say a kid, because he looked a little grown. Maybe he's a teenager, but not like a kid
Regardless, that
kid.
was the person's child, so the vision of it, that's his kid. You
Well,
know,
I don't want it to seem like he's a young baby or something. Like he was, you know, grown to an extent. But his wife and his son was there the entire time, yes. And the wife was so relentless. The entire time she kept trying to pull Cabos away from the husband. The crazy thing though is that Cabos didn't try to strike her.
no,
He
because
just
he,
kept
yeah,
pushing her away.
he was intent on his target, which
Yeah.
also leads me to question. This happened in Texas, Dallas, Texas. One, why wasn't any security at the motel? Do motels not use security? Because I've seen motels with security. And then second, this is Texas, the home of the GUN. Why wasn't anyone there armed, or were they armed and forgot to use it? Like this is not something that's normal.
I felt like the onlookers, they didn't care that much. There was one guy that came down and he's the one that called 911. But then there were people on like the second level that they were like curious to hear what was going on, but they never came down.
If you look downstairs and you see a man with a machete
That's true.
utilizing it on another individual, like it's difficult to paint the image, and I don't want to do it in a disrespectful manner, but if you think of from the perspective of taking a fork and putting it into uncooked steak and then pulling it back out, that's not an easy thing. So to see a person take the time and utilize this weapon multiple times over, that's not something I'm going to run head first
Two
for.
words,
Right.
right?
That's the situation where you call 911 and you have them figure it out from there. Because if this person can do it to them, why do I think they won't do it to me? Because it's a level of insanity attached with dedication and a level of sickness to do this to another human being.
Right. So the thing for me, yeah, even after he became motionless, he kept going, at a particular area of his body, which was his neck, and he kept going and going. As the wife came and tried to push him away, he pushed the wife back, and then he go at it again until
That part of the body was removed.
it was removed.
And then you see when the camera angle switch to now seeing that part of the body roll
And he kicked it.
down the sidewalk, then you see the angle of the witnesses on the street, and they literally looked up and they
And they
walked away.
started to step
They
back.
started to step back because that is not something you see every day. Now, we've all been in different projects and different situations and whatnot. I have never seen
Anything that
anything like that,
brutal.
anything with that level of brutality. These are things you see in tribal wars in third world countries. And to think this happened in a major metropolitan city
With
in
no care.
Texas, no care. And the other part that actually caught me off guard was that the police arrested this man.
Yeah, they saw him.
He put up no fight.
I mean, before we jump to that, yes, he kicked it with his feet, guys. The family was still there. He kicked it.
Well, since you're going back to that,
And
he kicked
wait,
it.
and then he put it in the garbage man. So it's like, what level of mental illness is that?
But regardless of the level of mental illness, he should be dealt with to the full extent of the law.
I believe so too, because look at it from the wife and the son's perspective. They watched that entire thing. I mean, imagine how traumatized they are. I would love to know how they're doing right now.
That's not a question I want the answer to, but I wish them nothing but the best because there's no way you could replay that. See, like, I don't know how they sleep at night. I don't know
Right,
how they wake up. I don't know how they go through this. In fact, I don't know how they go back to the business where he worked at.
right,
And the crazier part is, again, these are not things that the average person see. These are
right.
things maybe from war. Uh, the level of brutality,
It's a
these things from
one-off
war.
type of thing you will hear. It's not something
I
that
wouldn't say it's a
occurs.
one-off type of thing. I would say it's maybe a one-off thing in America.
Right, but yeah, but we're talking about America, but yes, it's not something you usually see happen here. The part that triggered me a little bit was that I feel like even if he gets life, I don't feel that would provide any comfort to the family because you can see that he did not care. Like
The,
him getting life would mean
the
nothing.
comfort is gone. There's no comfort that could be provided with this particular situation. This is forever trauma. They saw this, what they call it, front row seat. That it
Right,
happened within inches of them. They saw this entire activity take place within inches of them. There's never going to be any closure. You understand? And to my understanding, Texas is a state of capital punishment. But even so, that's still not going to provide any closure. I mean,
right,
at the end of the day, whatever the family wish for with this situation, they should be honored. He should not see the light of day. It looked like his mother is already trying to plead the insanity, mental illness point,
yeah.
but there was nothing about that situation that provided me the idea of mental illness. That was just a level of brutality.
So is he a citizen of the United States?
No, apparently not. It seemed like they had an ICE detainer out for him, or whatever
Hmm.
that terminology is, but they had a detainer out for him. He was not supposed to be here, but again, he was still here. These things, for whatever reason, they happen. They happen. But these are the situations where, when they happen, it's going to be deemed problematic because, one, he wasn't supposed to be here. Two, look at what he did. You know,
And he has a criminal background as well.
he has a criminal background here. I I don't know, because at the end of the day, when you look at the story, it's two individuals from two different countries that came to America with the same goal. One in the direction, the next went in a different direction. Unfortunately, they collided, and the one who should have been an inspiration to others, that was the one who lost his life.
But do you feel like they came here with the same goal though? How do we
The
know that?
overall purpose of coming to America is to seek a better life. That's why everybody come here. That's why the world tries to come to America, to seek a better life.
Well, again, this story was one of the most brutal we've heard in recent times. It blew my mind that something like this really happened. And I'm hoping that the family can get closure. I'm praying for his family as well because, I mean, knowing that your son, your nephew, your uncle, or somebody did something like that, I know that probably keeps them up at nights too. But yeah, we're gonna pray for their family. For us, it's a reminder that headlines are more than just stories. They're people, families, and pain that lasts long after the news cycle moves on. So thank you again for tuning in. This is Bloodline and Headlines. Lock your doors and stay with us. And remember to subscribe.